Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. And on behalf of Mike Amos and his son Michael that's calling in from Florida, I'm Forrest Lee, and we want to give a warm welcome to Tim Faison. He's the head basketball coach at Charles Citizen High School, and he's got some players that'll be on in just a few minutes. Thank you, Tim, for coming.
Thank you.
And we'll start our season tomorrow, and let's talk about our team, Coach.
Wow. Well, it's like I had 11 seniors last year, so it's sort of like I won't say rebuilding, sort of like a reloading process.
Okay.
I got a lot of guys that had to play JV just because I had so many seniors. So it's not really a new team because I coached JV last year, but we did, add some new pieces.
Yes, sir.
So we're excited.
Okay.
Obviously.
Let's go over our roster, Coach. Starting with our seniors, we have 7 seniors this year.
We got Austin Cross. Everybody knows his dad coaches at Troy. Excited to have Austin in the program this year. Jaden Spearman played for us last year, really came on strong the second part of the season. Tyler Carlton started some games for us last year, played really well. Mario Davenport, who started at Charles Henderson, is now back.
Right.
So Mario looking, for Mario to be a big help for us. Zach Beatty was on my JV team, Jamari Bird, and then we got Quay Scott, who transferred back from Indiana.
So he's back.
So
Okay.
Quay is back, and he's on the football team. Yeah. So
those are our 7 seniors.
7. Yeah,
and our
7
juniors,
seniors.
we have 5 juniors.
Yeah, 5 juniors. Bray Jones, Coach Elder's son, Tootie's brother. Bradley Presswood, Noah's brother from last year.
He's got a twin at Pike LeBron.
Yeah.
Golfer.
Ben Dunn.
Yeah, Big Ben. He's the center.
Yeah, so I got Big Ben. Jawan Boyd, who stand out on the football team, and Dertavius Lee.
Okay. And then we have 2 sophomores, and they are
Quay Grimes, again, another football player, started on the football team, and Zion Grady. Everybody knows Zion, so.
So we got 14.
Yeah.
And we got, how many of those? Now, when we're playing, tell us about the tournament tomorrow. And you got about half of your team that is still involved in football. We hope they'll be involved for a long time.
Yeah.
This round 1 of the playoffs. But how many players will you be able to take, and what tournament are we in tomorrow?
We're going to start off in the Park Crossing Classic. It's a good little, I think, starting point for us. We played in the last year, played Penton Valley and Park Crossing, and we lost the first 2 games, but it was a great experience. Like, our guys learned a lot. Penton went far into the playoffs, and Park Crossing played for the championship in 6A. So it was a good experience for us. The competition is good. This year we'll be matched up tomorrow, 1:30 against Penton Valley. The girls will play following us at 3:30 against Carver. So it's just a good opportunity to, before the season really gets kicked off, to the guys that have been practicing hard, give them a chance to get some minutes and experience under their belt.
And that will be played where again?
Park Crossing.
Park Crossing High School. And the boys play at
12,
and the girls play at
no, we play at 1:30 and the girls play at 3.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now, when will our first?
One good thing about playing at Park Crossing, that's only about a 40-minute drive.
Oh yeah.
And after this tournament, Coach, what about next week?
Next week we have 2 games, and again, a lot of it depends on football. So we have Park Crossing scheduled next Thursday in Pike Road, who we played in the regionals up there in Montgomery last year. It was a great game. We got them on that Friday.
Okay. Well, Tim, who was in our area in basketball, 5A?
This year we got Carroll, and Greenville.
So the area champion in the regular season will host the area championship, and then whoever wins will host again.
Yeah,
whoever loses actually will continue playing.
Yeah, to a sub-region game. Yeah.
Okay. It's like I noticed, like
Michael. You had such a great season last year. I know it didn't end the way you would like.
Yeah.
Everybody was thinking y'all were destined for the Final Four, and actually got beat by an Ozark team. Y'all had blown out twice. Tell us a little bit about that team, and then I'm interested. Did any of these guys get a chance at the next level in college?
Yeah, it was a great group of young men that I, inherited. It was guys that I had coached my my in the ninth grade. I tore my Achilles, so I was out of the program for a year, so I got a chance to come back, and it was just overall a good group. Had some really standout players. They set the foundation. I'm so proud of that group of young men, like off the court. What we were able to accomplish and how they acted. Just when we went to places like Mount Brook, Vestavia, playing those teams in those tough tournaments. But we had three guys off of that team that signed scholarships. Kevius Shorts signed at Wallace of Selma. Cody Youngblood signed down at Enterprise. And Tate Knox signed at Chipola, which is one of the top junior colleges in the country.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, again, I owe a lot that first year to them, just how they accepted me and allowed me to be a part of their experience.
Mm-hmm. Coach, we talked middle school earlier before, we started the program. Let's talk about our middle school coach, and they're already playing.
Oh, yeah. They are talented. That's probably one of the best middle school teams I've seen in a long time. Coach Fred Burton is doing a wonderful job. I went and watched him play a couple games, and again, they have Austin, younger brother, Tyler, and a couple other kids. They look good.
There's so many you can't name them.
Yeah, I don't even know all of them name, but like I said, they just have a really good group. I know Tyler because he worked out with us a little bit this summer. But man,
they had a good football year too.
Yeah, good football year.
And I do want to mention this: the cheerleaders at Goshen, the cheerleaders at Pike Liberal Arts, and the cheerleaders at Charles Henderson all did well at the regionals and will advance to the state tournament or the state championships.
Yeah.
I believe it's next weekend in Birmingham. Didn't they go to Mobile?
Yeah,
they went to Mobile, and they all did real well. I don't have all the results, but I know all three of those teams qualified. And you'll have cheerleaders at each of your games once, things get kind of settled and those kind of things.
Yeah.
Your coaching staff at Charles Henderson, Coach, who are some of those, the guys that help you?
I got Coach Martin. Coach Martin came in this year. He's coming from, I think, down from Greenville area. He's coaching football right now. Coach Hornsby again from Enterprise, coaching football. So, and then I got Coach Thad Frazier that came over from Pike County. He was a part of that staff at Pike County that won the state championship.
Okay.
So all I'm saying, he's been tremendous, especially last year with that, and then this year. So I'm looking forward, like I said, to Coach Martin and Coach Hornsby, and they all do a great job.
Well, Coach, I actually watched you play growing up. Dad and I, went to every game, and I know you played for the legendary Don Maestri and the legendary David Felix.
Yeah.
Tell us what you learned from them as a player, and then have you your philosophy of coaching? Have you taken any of that in playing for those guys?
Definitely. If you come watch us play, we try to emulate pretty much what we did at Troy, on the high school level. Playing fast, man. Back then, I tell people the game has changed. Everybody spread the floor, shoot threes, and we were doing that before it was in fashion, scoring all those points. But Coach Maestri, man, he was wonderful. I can't say enough about, him just giving me the opportunity to be a part of that team. Just the lessons that he taught us off the court. And everybody know Coach Felix. Coach Felix was, man, he was just the glue that held everything together. Both of them were wonderful, their wives, their families, man. It was a great time to be at Troy.
Let me tell you a story about David Felix. When I was at Goshen, I was probably a junior, and in rose David Felix to do his student teaching at Goshen High School. And so come basketball season, we were playing basketball, and he jumped out there, and we're thinking, this guy ain't no bigger. We'll just take him to the cleaners. Wrong. We'd be all over, and he'd just step back, whoosh. We'd get a little bit closer, he'd just step back, whoosh.
Mm-hmm. Great. He
David
was a great
Felix.
player at Troy.
He was a great cross-country guy.
Yeah.
Is he from Indiana?
Yeah.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
And another connection, Michael, is Tim, who was your head coach at Charles Henderson that you played for?
Coach McCarter. I played for Coach McCarter, and I played for Coach Hollis as well.
Okay.
JV. So.
Carly Hollis.
Yeah.
And then on the team, we got Austin, what's the connection there with Coach McCarter?
Coach Cross, actually, I think, started out under Coach McCarter at Texas Arlington, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then he ended up becoming, like, head coach at Texas Arlington.
So it's a full circle of life.
Yeah, it's sort of crazy.
So were you on that great Charles Henderson team that got beat at the buzzer in Tuscaloosa?
Oh yeah, man! Don't bring that up. Still, I'm just saying that's a bad memory. But yeah, I was on that team.
He was on the big shootout at Troy University. Weren't you on the?
Yeah, on the 258 team.
Yeah. I think you scored like 12 points, 12 or 14.
I was actually at that game. A lot of people claim they're at that game.
I know.
I think about 20,000 people said they went to that game, and it was probably only about maybe 1,500.
Yeah. Everybody say they were there, but man, those were fun teams to play on and just be a part of at Troy. Like, it was a wonderful time to play basketball at Troy.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have three of Coach's seniors. We'll have Austin Cross, Jaden Spearman, and Tyler Carlton. We'll take a quick message and stay tuned for the Mike Amos Show. We'll be right back.
A personal touch, a high level of trust, whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Our wide selection of pre-owned vehicles looks so good, you'll think they're new.
So take the short drive to Bill Jackson Ford in Troy, where you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Ford, Troy, Alabama.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
When you think Troy Cable, think of a world-class network. Think of friendly local customer support experts. Think of reliable internet, phone, television, and security for your home or business. Most importantly, think of a hometown company connecting its community. Think fast.
Welcome back to Today in L.A. with Mike Amos and his son Michael's calling in from Florida. I'm Forrest Lee, and we want to welcome Tim Faison. He's the head coach at Charles Henderson High School. And with us we have Austin Cross, and this is Jaden Spearman, and this is Tyler Carlton. These are three of our 7 seniors at Charles Henderson High School, and we'll start with Austin. Austin, if you will, tell us who your parents are, your siblings, and any other activity that you're involved in at Charles Henderson High School.
Well, I'm Austin Cross, and my parents are Scott Cross and Jennifer Cross. I have 2 younger brothers, Cody and Tyler Cross. And then, I don't do anything else but basketball at Charles Henderson.
Okay.
Straight basketball, yeah.
All three boys are named for a city in Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we got Austin, we got Tyler, and
Cody.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a city anymore, but it was.
Cody's not a city anymore?
Nah, it was a city.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Now, what number do you wear?
I wear number 10.
Number 10. And your position is what?
Shooting guard, and I might play some point guard this year, but mainly shooting guard.
Okay. Well, let's loop it back around, and we'll talk to Jaden a little bit. All right, this is Jaden Spearman. Jaden, if you will, tell us who your parents are, your siblings, and some of the activities that you're involved in at Charles Henderson.
Well, my name is Jaden Spearman. My parents are Valerie Ditch and Jerome Spearman. And my siblings, I have 4. His name is Dorian, my little brother, my sister named Amore, and my other brothers on my dad's side named Kalia Spearman and Zaki Walton.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. So you moved in from Phoenix City, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, how many younger siblings do you have, brothers and sisters?
2.
2. Are they playing basketball yet? Are they in elementary or middle school?
Yeah, elementary.
Okay, so they'll be coming around. So what number do you wear for Charles Henderson?
I wear number 11.
Number 11, okay. Well, loop that back around to Coach, and I'll let Tyler Carlton. Tyler, you use this one. This is Tyler. He's another one of our 7 seniors at Charles Henderson High School. All right, Tyler, if you will, tell us who your parents are and your siblings. What number you wear?
All right, my name is Tyler Carlton. My parents are Sherry Broadnax and James Carlton. I got quite a few siblings. I'm pretty sure y'all don't want me to name all of them. So, okay. I wear number 5, and the only sport I play for Charles Henderson is basketball.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say this. Do any of y'all sing? Because there's a couple of deep voices back there. You sing, Tyler? Oh, I bet you do. All right. So, guys, if you will,
Coach,
go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about each one of these guys.
Well, Tyler has been with me for all 4 years. So he's just one of those guys that, he's just extremely hard worker. Like, he's one of those guys you just have to have. Think Draymond Green, Ben Wallace type, Dennis Rodman, high energy, high character in terms of just basketball IQ and what he does on the floor. Then we got Jaden. Like I said, Jaden came from Phoenix City and really came on, last year, was getting his feet wet with that group, but really came on at the latter part of the season. And it was a big reason why we really got it going and really picked it up. He's a great scorer, great shooter, great person. And then we have Austin, like I said, who's just joined us and comes from a good basketball family pedigree. So his shooting, I wish I had it last year, just to be honest. I think that was the missing piece from that team last year, just consistent outside shooting. I thought we had everything else, but he's been tremendous. Like I say, coming over and just fitting in with the rest of the guys. So we'll see tomorrow, how things go.
Well, and one thing like you alluded to earlier, you got 4, 5, or 6, 7 still playing football. Yeah. So, these guys, like you said, the great things, they're going to get some playing time.
Yeah.
They'll get some quality opponents that'll make them better. And then when you get those other guys back, hopefully in about 5 weeks, and when they start gelling together and get their basketball stuff and their cohesiveness, it's kind of exciting for Charles Henderson. And there may be a bump here or there, but that's okay. We know help's coming.
Oh, yeah. We'll get our muscle. That's what I say. We'll get our muscle back when those football guys come out, because those are, most of our big guys. Yeah. With the exception of Jawan, who played a lot last year and was a big part of our success last year. So,
how many lefties do you have? Is Jawan's? Does he shoot lefty?
Yeah, Jawan is. I think he's the only left-handed player we have on the team.
I remember one year you had like 4 or 5.
Yeah. But this year, like Jawan, he's the only lefty that we have.
Now, collectively as a team, Tim, what do you feel is your strength as an overall team of 14?
I think shooting will be a big part of what we do this year. We didn't press as much last year, and I think our depth. I think last year we had such a steep decline when we went to our second group. But this year, I don't see that happen. Like, we should be able to maintain and even get stronger with our second group this year.
Yeah.
So I think shooting.
What are you going to do about foul situation, Coach? With only 6 or 7 players, are you going to still be aggressive, or worried about these kids?
Yeah, we don't need to get in foul trouble. But I'm saying we'll still play our style. Like, we want to play fast. We want to get up and down. We try not to foul so that the pace of the game and the flow of the game can stay constant. But we'll, like I said, we'll tweak some things. We'll mix in a little zone Saturday, and we'll pick our spots to play man and when we want to apply some pressure.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, your administration on the Hill and at the central office, if you will, share with the audience the support that you get from them.
First, it start with Ms. Thomas, the superintendent. She's been wonderful, amazing with her support of basketball and just, telling me just, Coach Faison, just do what you do, and I have your back. And, that's Ms. Thomas. So that's just been great to have that vote of confidence. And, then we have the administration itself. Mm-hmm. At the high school, my wife is principal, Miss Lisa Faison. And, she has, a lot of people don't know, but she was this great basketball player in Canada. So she's been around the game. Her ex-husband was assistant coach at Auburn and Troy. So
did she play at Georgia? Where did she play? She
played in Canada, University of Winnipeg.
Okay,
yeah,
University
of Winnipeg. But she's been around the game. She's coached the game at Lee Scott in Auburn. Mm-hmm. So she coached at the middle school girls team.
Right.
So she's been around the game. Miss Lane over there, her coach, Major Lane.
Okay.
Goshen. Yeah. So he's been around the program. He's been somebody I could bounce things off. And then Mr. Willard, Angelo Willard.
I met him the other day. I dropped some archery flyers off because we have a 3D tournament coming up today and tomorrow at our school. And his little grandson, I think, is in there. And I said, "What are you drawing?" And he showed it to me. He said, "You want it?" So I've got it in my classroom stapled on my bulletin board. So let him know that.
I will, but Mr. Willard's been tremendous. Like, all the experience and knowledge. He coached football at Park Crossing. Mm-hmm. He coached basketball before. So he just has a lot of connections, a lot of insight to a lot of different aspects and details of running a successful program. And I think you see it on the football team. Right. What an asset he's been to the school system.
Right. And Quinn Hambright, it's the entire school and Coach Hambright and his staff, how the programs are.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about your counterpart in women's basketball. Let's talk about her. We need to get her on the show, too. We're going to work on that.
The GOAT.
Greatest of all time. Okay,
yeah. Go. She is. Coach Elder, she's been tremendous in helping me, as a new coach. Last year was my first year, so she's just been tremendous. I look up and admire what she does with those girls. She does more with less than anybody that I've seen. It's just amazing how she can take 7 or 8 girls and get them through the course of the season. I told her last year I thought was her best coaching job, even though they didn't win it. But to get that group of girls to Birmingham, it was tremendous. And so I try to sit down and watch her practices and just absorb as much as I can from her. But she's really, really good and a great asset to have at Charles Henderson as well.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, do you ever think we're going to see a shot clock in high school basketball? I mean, I would like to see a shot clock.
I would like to see it. I think so.
Especially with these guys trying to get ready for the next level.
Yeah, I think it's something that, I know they're talking about it. We actually got a chance to go to Georgia, and I think in Birmingham as well. But we played with a shot clock in Georgia, and, man, I liked it. I think, after we got used to it, and we try to shoot the ball within 8 and 12 seconds. That'll be our goal this year. But I love the shot clock, and I can't wait to see it in high school basketball, especially after what Greenville tried to do last year. And I think Carroll sort of stole a page from their book, and, you know.
Well, they let the hair out.
Yeah. You know, and for a running team, that can be frustrating because it takes you to a new level of discipline. But, yeah, I would love to see a shot clock. I think it's coming.
Speaking of your schedule.
How's the old gym holding up? When that gym was there, is the court and everything still in good shape?
Yeah, the court, they do a good job of keeping it in good shape. You know, only, like I said, you know, they have the goals facing straight. I wish we could, and hopefully I think in the future, turn them to the side. And, you know, it's just time for, they facelift the lobby, which looks amazing, by the way. And I think they're going to come through the rest of the gym, but, you know, hopefully we can get the locker rooms renovated at some point. Get a new gym floor. It's probably time.
Let's get a state-of-the-art gymnasium and let that be the auxiliary gym.
Yeah, that would be great.
There we go.
Like, after seeing Headland's new gym, you know, I'm a little jealous.
Really?
Because I think Headland probably has the nicest gym in the Southeast.
Wow.
If you haven't been.
I got a question for the players. Who do y'all kind of idolize? Who's y'all's favorite players at the next level in college, and who's y'all's favorite players in the NBA?
For me, I'm a Mavs fan, so Luka probably. You know, I watch him every time I can. You know, just the way he uses the ball, his pump fakes and stuff. You know, I try to copy that. So probably Luka. Yeah.
My favorite player in the league right now is Andrew Wiggins because, like, I try to base my game off his because he plays to a steady pace, plays good defense, and he's a good scorer.
He plays for Golden State?
Yes, sir.
Nobody's going to pick Steph Curry?
You know, I just got to go with LeBron. You know, it's LeBron. You know? The dominance on the court, his facilitating, his IQ, knowledge for the game. I try to copy it, but hey, I don't think nobody gonna ever live up to them standards right there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tyler needs to be a singer at least. But hey, Coach, before the show, Tim Faison, who did you idolize as a little kid?
Brother.
No, man. I didn't want to live up to them. Actually, I didn't even want to be in that shadow. I wish I could have played football because he was such a great player. And he was 6'4", and he had a height advantage. But I think for me growing up, I was telling Coach Norm Nixon for the Lakers was probably the first guy I really sort of fell in love with when it came to basketball. Was Norm Nixon. I love Mo Cheeks with Philadelphia. Just those point guards. Isaiah, obviously. You know, the smaller point guards were just, the toughness, the grit, Walt Frazier, like just seeing them. Bob Cousy. I love all the old point guards, man, smaller guards.
Hey, Michael, I'm going to ask Tim the same question. I asked him this before the show started. Name 20 outstanding players, basketball players at Charles Citizen High School that you've seen, played with, or coached, or seen play.
Oh, my God.
You don't have to be in random order.
Romy Richardson, that's going back. Jay Green, that's going back to some years. My brother, obviously, Darren. Jerry Wright is a name that comes up. Tyrone White, Red Austin, Cecil McBride. This is before me. LK and Greg, LK Hooten, Greg Pickens. Both of them had great college careers. Then Greg coached big level college basketball. LK, I think, won a national championship at AUM. So guys before me, Tim Barnes was a great player. Charles Watson, they were on that same team, that state team. Johnny Hooten, who I played with and grew up with. Shelby Tuck, Ernest Isley, who I played with. Played with Shelby in college. And then after me, you have Matthew Jordan, Ken Banks, Jason Swanson, Quavian Lewis, Raheem Barnes, Man, it's an extensive list. Richard Fagan, like Charles Henderson has some great basketball players. A great tradition.
You had the King, Corey, and you had
Corey, yeah, Malcolm. I forget. I'm saying, how could I forget Corey, Malcolm, Dante, Frazier, like that group that went to state. That whole team. Jonathan Deveridge.
Felix was on that team.
Yeah, Drew. Drew was on that team.
Who's that Swanson kid?
Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah, Jason was, he played overseas. Had a good professional career over there. I actually saw him like a month ago at Lowe's, but man, we've had some tremendous. Curtis Parker. Like, we've had some tremendous basketball players, and then up to the guys, like I said, that I've coached, Devin Parker, Keith Wheeler, some of those guys. And then last year, Keith Shorts, Cody, and Tay Knox, and then I think this group is just going to hopefully elevate it. And with the middle school team that I saw, I think Charles Henderson basketball is really, really going to be really good.
At this time next year, we're going to be talking about some of these 7 will be playing here and yonder and there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Well, Tim, when you grew up, and some of the guys that have coached you and that you've coached with, name the people in your life that have touched you as it relates to life and basketball as far as a mentor.
Coach Hollis, I would think, would probably stand out as number one. Basketball, like I sometimes tell my students, basketball saved my life. And he was a big part of that. My brother-in-law, Kevin Jackson, took an interest in me when I was sort of going down the wrong path a little bit.
Is that Sheila's husband?
Yes.
That's right.
So they were very instrumental. Believe it or not, Edward Upshaw, who's custodian at the high school, man, I've been on Edward. I worked with him in the summertime. We talk basketball every day. Like, he's just been there constantly, my whole life. I've looked up to him, his work ethic, just who he is as a person. Then, obviously, you go to junior college. I played for Coach Terry Sellers down in Monroeville. And then come to Troy and play for Coach Felix and Coach Maestri. So they've been great. And then, you get to my wife. My wife, I think, knows probably way more basketball than I do. She's been around the game. Like I say, she played on a team that didn't lose a game in 3 years, I think, in Canada. So, but she's been my rock, I guess, in terms of just helping me out, showing me a lot of different nuances behind the scenes. And then just, who else? Like, it's so many. My brother, my family. My family's been great. Supported my whole life. My brothers and sisters have been tremendous. So,
who is your mother?
Catherine, yes. Catherine, yeah, she is 91 years old.
Miss Catherine?
Catherine Faison. She's 91 years old.
She watching this morning?
She probably is watching. I'll probably get a call. And say, I didn't know you were going to be on. But, yeah, I think she watches the show.
Yeah, it's going to be replayed this afternoon at 1:30.
But, yeah, so my
family. On Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, but my family's been, tremendous. And I've got a chance to be an assistant under Coach Hollis, Coach Tuck, and Coach Branson. And those were 3 tremendous coaches, and I learned so much from each one of them. And I think now it's just a culmination of me trying to put all that together and elevate Charles Henderson basketball back to a level where it's, it's known around the state as a good program on and off the court.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Coach, you're not scared to play anybody, so that's good.
Yeah, we'll play, and that's the crazy thing is when I started calling teams this year to play, I couldn't find anybody to play. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go. I had to go to Birmingham, Mobile, and I lost. Like I said, I had 11 seniors, so I thought teams would be happy after last year to play it. But it's been it's been tough. But we play Auburn this year. When we go, we're playing in Thompson. We're gonna play up there at Thompson in their tournament. We go to Battle the Beach down in Mobile at the University of Mobile. So that's going to be a great tournament. We go to Eufaula and play in their Christmas tournament, which was a great tournament last year. We lost to them in the finals. And, they had an outstanding team. So they were ranked number 1 in the state when we lost to them. So we lost to the number 1 team in the state 3 times last year. So it's great. But I love playing competition. I think you get better. And so I'm hoping these young men will accept the challenge that we have this year.
What about Enterprise? They won the 7A state championship. Will y'all play them?
Yeah, at some point, I wanted to play Enterprise, and I wanted to make that game happen. Unfortunately, our schedules didn't align and didn't work out. But I know that he's going. I talked to Coach Harold, and man, what he's done in Enterprise, because I saw it. I coached against him when he was playing at Enterprise. So I've been knowing him a long time, and what he's been able to do. You can just see him building that program. And I called and congratulated him and told him how much, how much I appreciate just what he's done. And I try to emulate it because like I said, I've seen where he started from to where he is now and how he's built that program into a championship level program. And so I'm trying to do the same thing. So I have a lot of admiration for what he's done at Enterprise.
Guys, is there anything that either one of y'all would like to add? I know y'all looking forward to going to class. Well, we certainly want to.
Ask Coach Carlson's son, how's Troy University going this year?
We play Monday at home.
They're going to be good this year. They're going to be good. Everybody thinks they're going to have a down year because, we had people transfer away from last year, but we got some new people that nobody really knows about, and they're going to do really good.
Yeah,
personally, I think.
Yeah. We open up Monday at home at 6 o'clock versus
I think 7 against
Montevallo. And the girls open up that afternoon in Birmingham against Samford. So the season is here for basketball.
It is.
Guys, we want to wish y'all the best of luck. Thank y'all for coming on the show. Tim, I worked with you at the middle school, and man, I love your demeanor and your laughter and your presence and your gift of being a blessing to young men and women that you touch and teach and coach. And I'm just so thankful of your presence. I really want to thank you. And we want to wish the Charles Simpson High School football team the best of luck tonight in the first round of the playoffs. We'll be playing Williamson. Kickoff is at 7. It's going to be it's been a great year for Charles Henderson athletics and academics, and we're going to continue. This is going to be the best of the best.
Oh, yeah.
And anything, Michael, that you'd like to wrap up with Tim and his young men?
Well, I'm a proud alumni of Charles Henderson 1994. I live at the beach, but I keep up with you guys. And I'm proud of y'all, and y'all had a great year last year, Coach, and I'm sure y'all will do the same this year. And best of luck to y'all. Also, Coach, I want you to open your wings place open. I used to love your wings.
Oh man, I know. I think me and my wife get that question so many times. People are like, I'm like, oh my God, it's just so much, so much work. And maybe we'll get around to it. We kicked around the idea, but she's so busy, running a high school, and now with me being the head coach. And I told anybody if they want to franchise it, we'll be more than happy to give away the recipes and just give us a little cut. So if you want to start something at the beach, I still have the recipes, everything you need.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
it was a good play. Good luck to you guys. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Charles Henderson High School basketball segment of Today in LA with Mike Amos and Michael, and I'm Forrest Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break. We want to thank Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Troy and Jason Gregory and his staff, the Witherton Group Insurance Company. We want to thank Town & Country Flooring, and we want to thank Bird's Drugs. And we'll be back after these messages. play with, on behalf of Mike Amos, his son Michael, I'm Forrest Lee, and we just had the Charles Henderson head basketball coach on, Tim Faison, and it's playoff season. And tonight, Charles Henderson in all games, all high school football games, to enter the stadium, you must go to gofan.com. You got to use your smartphone. Go to gofan.com. Scroll down to the school that you'll be going to. For example, Charles Henderson High School. Then it'll click up Charles Henderson versus Williamson, 7 o'clock, Troy, Alabama. One ticket costs $10, so you hit one, and there'll be $1 surcharge. But that's how you get in the game, unless you're a coach and you have your coaching pass, or media and have your media pass. So go to gofan.com and attend these area football games that we have here in this area. You want to go over those, Michael?
Yeah, we can go over that. I want to mention last night, huge game in the Sun Belt. Coastal Carolina held on to beat App State last night, 35-28. Actually, Coastal was up 35-14 at one time. But it looks like if Troy can win this weekend, which is going to be tough against Lafayette, it looks like Troy would have a great chance to win the West. It looks like Coastal Carolina is definitely going to represent the East of the Sun Belt in football.
Right.
And then it comes down to who has the best record overall, as far as in the conference, and the best ranking overall, who will host that game. So Troy's got a lot to look forward to, and big win this weekend, hopefully.
Right. Well, locally, Brantley will host Choctaw. Elba will host Southern Choctaw. GW Long will host St. Luke's out of Mobile. Ayrton is hosting Chickasaw out of the Mobile area. Highland Home is hosting Isabella. Luverne travels to Vincent. W.S. Neal travels to Opp. That's Hugh Fountain versus Coach DeBose at Opp. Pike County travels to Excel. Carroll travels to Gulf Shores in Baldwin County. Faith out of Mobile will be traveling to Eufaula. Wilcox Academy will be at Crenshaw Christian Academy. Enterprise travels to Baker of Mobile. And Williamson will be coming to Troy to play the Charles Henderson High School Trojans. And a couple other things. They had the memorial for Demario Harris yesterday at Charles Henderson High School. They dedicated their practice field in his honor. And his nickname was Squirrel. He wore number 10. His family had moved to Chicago, but that's a wonderful thing that Charles Henderson High School did on behalf of DeMario and his family.
Yeah, he was a great player, and we used to do the coaches show with Coach Dean that year, and he was a great player, great kid. And I'll tell you what, that's something that I'm glad they honored him, and I still just can't believe that happened on a football field, but it did. Right. And still think about that family a lot, to say the least. Of course, got a lot going on in sports this weekend. Got a big game in Athens, Georgia tomorrow, for us.
Ooh. It's this time of year. Everybody, it's every game is big, just about, and that is the most sought after ticket in America as of this week, and I lean toward Georgia.
It's basically going to be Georgia's ground and pound, trying to run the ball and run the clock, keep that Tennessee offense off the field, and then, how can Kirby Smart, who I think is one of the greatest defensive coaches of all time, of course, he was at Alabama for 10 years. I met him several times, and super nice guy, but defensively, how does he slow Tennessee down, That's going to be great football game to watch tomorrow.
Hey, a couple we mentioned earlier, but Goshen, Pike County, and the Charles Henderson cheerleaders all had advanced to the state championships. Next week, they'll be held in Birmingham. Also, Keldrick Falk will play in the All-American Bowl January the 7th in San Antonio, Texas. The 100 best players in the nation are invited to play in this. So Keldrick Falk of Highland Home will be playing in the All-American Bowl January the 7th, 2023 in San Antonio, Texas for the West. It's pretty big.
Wow, that's a great honor. Kid from Highland home.
Yep.
Of course, we didn't even mention Baton Rouge tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Alabama. 13.5-point favorite against LSU, which is a lot of points. But it's going to be interesting to see if Alabama can develop a running game. They basically, against Mississippi State, I think they rushed for 45 yards, and the offense stalled on a lot of drives in the second half. It's going to be real interesting to see how offensively Bill O'Brien tries to attack LSU's defense, which is a very aggressive defense. And then, Daniels is playing great ball at quarterback for LSU. Another great game. I mean, it's going to be the best football Saturday I've seen in a long time. That's not even counting. We didn't bring up Auburn, Mississippi State. How will Auburn come out and play for Carnell Williams, their new interim head coach?
Right. They'll be short staffed, but if anybody can do it, Auburn can do it. And
I'm gonna have to have TVs going on the. I'm gonna have one on the porch, one in the den. I'm gonna have my computer on, watching Troy Lafayette. It's gonna be hard to keep up with everything tomorrow.
What about the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts?
8-0, yeah.
8-0.
How many fans out there do you think when Jalen Hurts got beat out by Tua at Alabama, stayed on the roster, ended up winning the SEC championship game when Tua got hurt? I mean, one of the greatest kids ever. Whoever would have thought he'd be 8-0 in the pros as starting quarterback right now?
And they asked him last night. He said, "We really hadn't accomplished anything." He said, we had a great year, and then we lose the national championship game. So he still remembers that. They're just building the season, but to be 8-0 the first time in the history of that franchise is pretty neat. And last night, the Houston Astros won 3-1. They take a 3-2 series lead, and they're on the cusp of their second championship in 6 years. They play Saturday night at about 7:03 Central Time on Fox, and if Game 7 is needed, they'll play again in Houston at 7:03, somewhere in there for the game. But right now they need just one more game. So it's the Astros with a 3-2 lead over the Philadelphia Phillies. And
Verlander got the win last night. I watched a little bit of it. David Robertson out of University of Alabama from Tuscaloosa played at Paul Brown High School. Actually came in relief and did a good job for the Phillies last night. I'll be honest with you, I just can't get into baseball anymore like I used to.
Well, some guy that hit a home run made a tremendous catch in the ninth inning. Yeah, that's woo. I want to mention this.
I was watching the football game. I'll tell you what, Coastal is. I mean, that Grayson McCall kid, he's been quarterback, it seems like, for 10 years at Coastal, but that offense is going to be hard to stop if Troy ends up having to play them.
One thing I want to mention this for Steve Camp and all you NASCAR fans, the Cup Championship race will be this Sunday, November the 6th in Phoenix. The 4 contenders, the top 4, Chase Elliott, Chris Bell, Joey Logano, and Ross Chastain. And Ross Chastain is the one who made the video game move in the last race. You need to go watch it. It's pretty neat. But
actually, I did watch that. Yeah, that was pretty exciting to watch.
That was pretty neat. And some other things that I pulled off the internet. Of course, a couple of days ago was Brian Piccolo's birthday. He passed away. Mr. Mac Gibson, his service will be Sunday, November the 6th at 3 o'clock at First Baptist Church in Troy. The visitation is between 1 and 3, and his service is at 3 o'clock. Mr. Mac Gibson was born in Glenwood. Also want to think about the family of Ron Morgan. His funeral service will be tomorrow at Dillard. Visitation at 10, and the service starts at 11. I wanted to mention that. And
I grew up at First Baptist Church and grew up with Melanie and Andrew and his wife Mary. Matt Gibson was a great man, and our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. I'm going to mention we got college football tonight as well. We got Boston College hosting Duke. Duke's had an unbelievable year this year. That game tonight will be at 6 o'clock on ESPN2. You'll have a game nobody wants to watch for us, UMass against UConn. That game will be on CBS television. And then later in the night, not a bad game here at all, actually. Oregon State out of the Pac-12 against Washington. That game will be tonight at 9:30 on ESPN2. So that'll give everybody something to watch after the high school games tonight.
Mm-hmm. How do you think Liberty's going to do against Arkansas? Can that be an upset? Do you think they can beat?
I don't know. If Liberty gets their starting quarterback back, I think it can make a difference. Mm-hmm. But right now they're playing a fourth-string guy that played an amazing game against BYU. But I would imagine 75,000 fans and the way Jefferson and Rocket Sanders is playing running back. And, Arkansas's coach, Pittman, he was kind of a journeyman coach throughout his career, coached offensive line at Georgia, Arkansas, other places, like a real motivator. He ends up getting that Arkansas job, his first head coaching job, I think in his late 50s. And, man, what a hire. Sometimes it's just that fit. And it's worked out, great for Arkansas.
What about the fit with Troy University and drill sergeant Sumrall?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
amazing.
And when you think about the entire athletic department at Troy University, we have some quality people and they're quality coaches. I mean, they're just dynamic. The new softball coach, I cannot think of his name right off the bat, but he's got 6 children. And then Coach Cross, Ms. Rigby, Coach Rigby. I mean, we just got a plethora of the Keck. Oh, I saw this on Facebook. Coach Keck's family or his boys transferred to Parks Crossing or Pike Road. And the oldest boy was out kicking footballs during physical education class and kicked a couple of 40-yarders. And the coach happened to see him. He now is on the football team.
Oh, wow.
And Sawyer, his son Sawyer, will be a 10th grader, and he is a basketball guru. Sawyer Kick is. So, but
I always remembered growing up in Troy, you always had the football coaches, the baseball coaches, basketball. Everybody had kids, and it was different with Maestri and Felix because they were both there over 30 years. Mm-hmm. So nobody ever left there, and then Coach Blakeney was there for 24 years. So nobody in his family left. And then I tell Dad all the time, one of the best athletes I think Troy missed out on was Tate Gailey, Shane Gailey's son. Mm-hmm. And I grew up together, and he had been a phenomenal baseball player, football player. Bobby Rhodes, his dad was Rick Rhodes, and I grew up with him. And Bobby ended up leaving at some point as well. But that's one good thing about when these coaches come in, sometimes they bring athletes.
Mm-hmm. We were talking earlier about basketball coaches at Charles Simpson, and we've mentioned it before in the past, but Calvin Griffin, he came to Goshen as one of our football coaches and basketball coaches. And I can remember him saying he got hired like our first ball game my junior year. And the head coach said, Coach Griffin, have you got anything you'd like to add? He said, yes. He said, guys, if your mind is in the game, your body will automatically follow. And when I started coaching, I used that as an expression. I said, guys, if your heart's in it, your body's in it, and if your heart is in it, your mind is in it, and your body will automatically follow. But Calvin Griffin, we've lost him a few years ago, but he was a tremendous talker, motivator, just calm.
Yeah.
Calm guy.
I'm not going to lie for us. I'm glad you mentioned him. He was my favorite coach at Charles Henderson. He didn't even coach me, and he was my favorite coach. He might have helped out when I played JV football, but I can't tell you how many times at Charles Henderson High School I'd sit in the bleachers and I'd talk to Calvin Griffin. Yeah, it broke my heart when I found out he passed away. He was just a great, great, great man. He really was.
If you could see my arms, I got chill bumps. Him and Whitey Whitman. James Whitey Whitman. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to, on behalf of Michael and his dad, Mike, we would like to thank you for joining us today on Today in L.A. This show can be seen this afternoon at 1:30. You can find us on Facebook and at YouTube. Go to TC2 TV, TC2 TV, And you can find this show and other shows that is produced by C Spire and Troy Cable. Well, thanks, Steve Kemp. Let's have a great weekend. Go Trojans. Go Patriots. Go Roll Tide, War Eagle. Have a good one. See you.
We'll see y'all.